Hello everyone, my name is Shelby and this is the series where I reveal what is inside these mystery pottery molds I found on Gumtree. Hello and welcome to another mold reveal. This is mold 89 and oh my gosh, it is almost 90, which means it'll almost be the milestone of 100, which is really like wild to think that we've done 100 of these. I pull this one up and I'm really excited because it is teeny tiny. It's going to be small little things, which is so exciting. I love when things are miniature size. I open the mold up to unveil these gorgeous little miniature jugs. They are so adorable. So to get them ready, I trim off the excess so that they've got that clean, beautiful spout. It's such a lovely curvature space. It took a while to drain out, and that's because of that big round one I'm holding right now. It just held a lot of clay in there, and it was actually hard to get that one consistent out of this whole piece. But regardless, we got some really good ones. Here's a look at the mold for you if you are looking for it. I'm kind of hoping there's more of these because a cluster of all of these would be so nice. So for this week, because it's so tiny, look how small it is in my fingers. It's so small. I love these. So I wanted to do en masse, kind of like last week's video, because they're so small. I just wanted to have like lots of them, like an army of tiny little pitchers. So I ended up pouring like 15 or 14 sets of them or something ridiculous. So it's been a while in the works, and like last week we kind of ended up with the same amount at the same time. So we're doing 2 en masse molds in a row. Anyway, for the design this week, I decided I was going to use the Chrysanthos pastel glaze range that I used in a previous video, but this time I'm just doing the pastel glaze to make them these sort of like minimalist pastel works that should look incredible with them all bunched together in different rainbow pastel colors. But with that said, I was filming myself glazing them all and I was like, this is kind of boring. Like not in like a bad way, but like it was just kind of like adding color to these vases. So I decided to mix it up as well and do some of these little sort of fruit, frog and bee sets. So I painted some miniature little fruits on them just so that you had some like content to watch this week other than me just slapping on some color. The other part about the glaze is it might be interesting to watch, I guess, like painting the color on, but you can't really see the color until it comes out of the kiln. It looked like I was painting white on white for a long time. And also the way I put on glaze is I like kind of slap it on. So I paint really fast. So it's not super slow and meditative, I guess. So I decided for content purposes to do these ones as well. But these ended up being some of my favorites. So I'm so glad that I was like, I need to make the content interesting this week. So we'll do some little illustrations, but they really, added value to this piece. I also just wanted to say, I said this like 3 weeks in a row, but thank you for all the comments. I feel like we have a lovely little community happening here. It's so nice, and I think that has really slowly reflected in the tone of the voiceover for me as well, because I feel like I'm talking to a friend and a friend that's like making artworks alongside me. It's really, really lovely. So I just wanted to thank you to everyone that contributes there, but also if you don't contribute and you're just like sort of painting along, that's cool too. Like I don't want to disrupt your flow, and I'm so glad that you can use these alongside what you're doing and they help sort of allow you to relax and get creative in your own time. So yeah, thank you to all those that message me saying that they use these videos to paint alongside and have something sort of entertaining in the background as well. With that said, I want to ask, how was your week? Did anything eventful happen? I would love to hear about it in the comments, even if you achieved something or maybe you're working towards something. Pop it down below. I'm really interested to read your comments. I don't always get time to reply to them all because there's so many of you, but I absolutely read every single one of them, and I'm so grateful to hear your thoughts and feelings on everything from recurring dreams and Mandela effects and all of that. I love hearing from you. I also love when you guys interact with each other. It's so, I love it. It just feels so nice to foster this really beautiful creative energy in this video format. The rest of this video is a lot of me slapping on some glaze. Please enjoy, especially those who watch these videos for the full sort of process. It's actually quite funny. I look at my analytics and I totally get it, and I'm not going to change my content in any way to match up with that, but a lot of people will watch the start of the video and see me pull a mold and then open it, and then the analytics like drop because they skip to the kiln opening. And I can see you guys. I see what you're doing, you cheeky little buggers. I see that. But I also see a lot of people that are in it for the same reason as I am, and to see the full process. And I think that shows that there's two types of people in this world. There's those that are curious and just have to know what happens at the end. And then there's the ones that want to go for the full roller coaster moment and watch something go from its highs and lows to see its finished product. I'm very much a high and low finished product kind of person. I love to see the trials and tribulations something has gone through to become what it is. So I just want to thank you if you're watching right now to this point and you haven't skipped to the kiln opening. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're my kind of people. Anyway, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this and I'll chime back in when we're getting to the kiln packing. Alrighty, so I am up to glazing those little illustrated ones. It was actually really funny filling the jugs up with glaze and how long they actually took to drip out. You probably saw that before, but it was time to pack the kiln, and I'm going to say that this was probably one of the most satisfying kiln loads to look at. It was just a mass of little tiny jugs that filled up the whole bottom shelf, and then the next shelf, you can see I've got the stilts in there for another shelf. I popped 2 of my wombats in there, as well as a couple more jugs that didn't quite fit on the bottom shelf. But I'm just so excited to open the kiln and see this en masse of color and the way that these glazes are going to pop. Something I didn't talk about before was with the Chrysanthos pastel glaze. I actually left a band on the bottom of just white because I wanted that sort of texture and color contrast. I wanted the white to contrast with the pastel color, but also the matte texture to contrast with the gloss glaze. Sometimes with the kiln packing, the pieces are so big it's not super satisfying, but gosh, this week it was so nice. It was just filled with these pastel, colorful, little tiny jugs. They are so cool. I love this. So one thing I will say before I show you all of them, or well, whilst I'm showing you all of them, is that my application of this glaze wasn't the best. I was quite streaky with my application and my brush was a little bit too small for this product, but from this piece, I love that it does have a bit of a texture because it just adds an extra element of like looking at it. It's not just a plain flat piece. It's just got kind of like this dynamic of someone made this. This is cool. But with that said, if I wanted to get more of a sort of clean, opaque look, like a not brushworky kind of thing, I will probably choose a bigger brush and also not spread it so much. You probably saw in my footage of spreading it a lot, but I'll just sort of dump it on rather than spreading it. But here they all are. These are absolutely gorgeous. I'm just so blown away by these pieces. They feel so sweet, like they're part of a little dollhouse set or like a little tea party set. For me, I would have these on a little nook on a shelf with a few little dried blooms in them. They are just stunning, and I hope you like them too. I think they're gorgeous with so much potential for the design. Anyway, let me know what you think of this piece in the comments. Thank you so much for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and here is your sneak peek for the next reveal.